Today, we are changing things up. We're doing something a little different. I'm having a casual chit chat with you. You know, those YouTube videos where you watch people fold their laundry, while they talk to you? That's going to be the vibe of this video where I talk about some topics like what I think the Lord is telling me to do with my prayer life. We're going to talk a little bit about Ozempic, and we're going to talk about some bad phone habits and a whole bunch of other things. This one is just casual chit chat, so unscripted, unplanned. I think it's going to be a good one. That's what's coming up today on the Possibility Mom Live. I'm coming off a couple of weeks of travel. I hosted my retreat, the Wealth Without Guilt retreat in Ave Maria, Florida. We have a home there that was such a joy, like such a joy to host. I had so much fun. Hosting events like that are very much in my spiritual gifts, my spiritual charisms. I have the spiritual charism of hospitality. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go look at the work of the Catherine Siena Institute. My wonderful friend Jill Simons has a ministry called Many Parts Ministries. You can learn about activating your spiritual gifts at places like that. Hospitality is a big one for me. And so it was just so much fun to host some incredible women. I'm going to post later on a video that one of our attendees did, Jennifer, the incredible Jennifer, cranberry farmer from, forgive me, Jennifer, Wisconsin, if I'm not mistaken. Do they grow cranberries in Wisconsin? I think so. And she shared on her channel just the best recap of the event. So I will post that later on. It was a wonderful time. The Lord also allowed me to experience a little bit of challenge there. I experienced some interesting things there as well, related to perfectionism, related to not being in control, related to just like having to be okay when things didn't go according to plan. And then came back to Canada, put my kids in their first week of school, first day of school, and then off I was to Dallas, Texas, where we had the incredible opportunity to pitch at the Scent Venture Summit. And that just was so much fun. And that one, I also experienced a little bit of discomfort. It was a little bit different, but the through line of both of these experiences for me. And again, this is just a casual chit chat, everybody. This is a casual life update, what's going on in my head right now. And what I feel like the Lord was showing me at both of those experiences was potential. What do I mean by that? I believe that he gave me a glimpse, and I didn't have some, the Virgin Mary did not visit me. I'm not saying it was anything like that, but I do believe he gave me a glimpse of what some really cool things could look like. And I'm going to keep it a little bit vague. I'll be specific about one of them, but I feel like he just sort of expanded my view of what life and impact could look like through the various things that I have been given the opportunity to, the gifts that he's given me. I feel like he kind of just placed a little morsel, you could do this if you just trust me. And not in a transactional way, but I just mean, I'm giving you a little glimpse into some things that are to come. I have it many times in my life. Let me know in the comments if you feel like this is you too. I've been many times in my life felt like I can see the whole picture. So big spotlight, big floodgates, and you can see the whole thing. You can see far ahead of you. You can see the horizon line. There have been many times in my life where I feel that way. And then, oh my word, there have been many times in my life where it's like, nope, you can see just 3 feet in front of you. And it's awful. Or at least to me, it's awful. Like you're just taking a few very small steps and you're kind of fumbling in the dark, but you're trusting that where you're going is going to be okay, right? I would say that's been like largely the last couple months for me, like, just moving back to Canada, living in 10 homes in 10 months while pregnant with baby number 10. There was so much insecurity and instability and whatnot. And just, it really felt like this very, very small, just tiny, 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 amount of light. And I feel like the Lord, it doesn't feel that sort of like perilous now, I feel like I have a little bit more than just immediate 3 feet. Maybe I have like 12 feet, but I feel like he kind of went like this and was like, Lisa, like, here's a glimpse. And I wonder, I'm curious, I'm asking the question, like, I wonder if that happens just naturally when you are outside of your norm, when you're outside of the normal people you hang out with, when you are outside of your normal environment. I think travel can naturally inspire and kind of, again, like get you out of very pattern ways of thinking or just normal, your normal patterns, right? I love me some routines. I love me some patterns, but oh my goodness, was it so fun to just experience something very, very, very new. And I think it was some of the people that I had the privilege of encountering is what gave me, I think, that glimpse. So just on a more specific note, Guiding Star. I have been in the position of president at the Guiding Star Project, which is a nonprofit sisterhood of healthcare centers across the United States, where we have a vision of a future where no woman fears pregnancy. And we do that through education, community, and healthcare solutions at our centers, our physical centers across the United States. We want to be 50. We currently have 7. We want 50 across the United States, and I really want it in Canada too. But you gotta let me, Canada, you gotta let me do this in the States first, and then we'll see what happens here in Canada. But I feel like the Lord gave me for a little bit, just like a little glimpse of, I'm just gonna show you, like, just keep walking, like keep trusting me, keep walking. And here's a glimpse of what it might look like. And that was thrilling, like super thrilling. And I've been sharing on Instagram, I've been sharing in bits and pieces that the Scent Ventures, particularly, the theme of that conference, it's as if they all got together and talked about it, that they're all just going to say the exact same thing, and the exact same thing that every speaker, I'm not even kidding, talked about explicitly was that you have to spend time with the Lord. And so as I've re-entered back into normal life with 10 children and all the things, we've got, sports, we've got play rehearsals, we've got, all the things. I have been very challenged I feel like the Lord is asking me something very specific. I'm going to keep that private for now, but just a very specific prayer minimum that he's asking me to do. And it's kind of, I don't know, I'm like, okay, fine. I don't know how this is going to get done, but okay, I guess, so that's what's on my heart. But one of the things about this prayer minimum that I really feel like the Lord is just asking me really specifically to do, it's going to require me to have some way better habits, like some way better sleep habits, some way better health habits, just in general, and one of them is my cell phone. And so I have learned that I am a bit way more dependent than I would prefer on my phone for combating negative emotions, for maximizing every minute. I run this challenge during Lent called Break Your Cell Phone Addiction. And maybe I need to kind of do it for myself right now, because I've noticed I maximize every moment. Literally every moment. So what do I mean by that? If there's a very small spare moment, I will do one very small task on my phone. Like I will send an email, or I will, write a blog post, or I will, or not a blog post right now, like a Instagram post. I will, take care of like just anything. Like I like to maximize every spare moment, but that has created an absolutely reflexive response to pick up my phone anytime there's a pause. And that's not healthy. I need to be a good steward of my time 100%. Like I know that, but being a good steward of your time does not mean being attached to your phone 24/7. So I'm in a period of recalibrating my relationship with my phone. Can you tell how excited I am about it? I'm like, not at all, not at all excited that I need to commit some healthier habits, but pray for me. I'll pray for you. It's time to be a little less connected to my phone. And I feel like I'm in a season where I have to, or I get to, I guess, but it feels like I have to, but it's sort of all related. I know I need to get some better sleep, which means that I need to go to bed earlier, which means that I need to find some ways to work more during the daytime as opposed to how I normally work, which is to get a lot of work done at night. And all of this also, like I've just really recognized I need some healthier habits. And here's the challenge, okay? So that's why I put Ozempic in the in the title or in the description for this video. I think one thing that I've also realized is that I have a tendency to look for the most efficient or maximized solution. Like I just have a tendency to want everything to be quick, to want everything to be efficient. And so I cannot tell you how many times, like my phone now knows, like my phone is sending me all kinds of random things, right? I just like I am about 40-ish pounds heavier than I probably should be, probably even a little bit more than that. And when I say should be, I just mean like I think what is healthy for my weight and my height rather, and just my age, all that kind of stuff. I'm not necessarily looking to fit into pre-wedding clothes, but I am looking to be much healthier and much gentler to my body than I currently am. And I've just had to examine, like, I don't need to drink every evening. Like I probably have a glass of wine, like on average, I probably have a glass of wine or two an evening, and that just might not be necessary. I'm on day, I think, 4 of no gluten, because in the past, cutting out gluten from my diet has just been so impactful. So I'm trying that again. And I'm trying to feel empowered about this whole thing, but not always, not always successful around it. And so I went on a big Ozempic deep dive. In the end, I just concluded, how about we start with actually working on the habits that will help you be healthy, and then go from there. So that's what's going on for me right now. That is the casual life update over here. I am okay. I was going to say excited, and I definitely am excited. I am definitely excited about some of the things that the Lord has been kind of giving me these glimpses of. Very, very excited. I am also intrigued. I feel like the Lord and I have been on this journey of like intimacy and like deep healing, like coming back to Canada in 2022, 2023. My goodness, 2023 was a year of deep healing, so much therapy, so much growth. And I now, I have a lot of evidence of how I can trust the Lord. And so I'm intrigued at what he's asking me to do. I'm intrigued to see, what happens. Because if I'm going to be really honest with you, okay, I typically have spiritual direction on Fridays, okay? And so today was the day. And I was like, okay, Father Damien, this is what I feel like the Lord's telling me. He's telling him to be pretty clearly, I think. And so I better just listen. But I don't really want to do it. And Father Damien was like, why not? And I was like, because some of it's going to be hard. And I kind of just would rather it be easy. Like just straight up, right? And, again, like committing to some of these prayer habits, committing to some of these health habits, and just, whatever, like habits, doing things a new way when you've been doing them an old way can be difficult. Like it just can be, and that's fine. But here's the encouragement I'll close off with today. I hope it helps you too. Maybe you're in a season of invention or new potential, new possibilities. Maybe you're in a season where you hear the Lord very clearly asking you to trust him, or to increase in your ability to trust him and to follow what he wants for your life. I don't know. But Father Damien was like, when your baby Lucy cries, like, why do you go pick her up? You could leave her to cry. That would be an option. And probably sometimes it's hard to pick her up because you're tired or you don't want to or whatever. But like, you pick her up. Why? And I was like, because I love her. And because I want her, to not feel pain. And I want her to, feel the security and comfort of being in her mother's arms. And he just was like, well, that's what the Lord wants for you too. Like sometimes it's going to be hard, but you love him. Let him love you back by doing some of these things that he's clearly asking you to do. Okay, one final thing I'll share that just sort of also happened all in the same season, the same period of interesting exploration. I found a journal that I had written when we lived in Florida and when we had made the decision to come back to Canada for so many different reasons, And I knew that it was the right thing. The Lord had closed a lot of doors and just made it abundantly clear Canada was where he wanted us. And it was interesting because I had a really hard time with it. I loved my life in Ave. I loved spending time with the people. It was so fun to see all of my friends again. Hi to all of you. You all know who you are. And there was a question. It was like a journal that had like some written like subject, and then you kind of responded to the content. And one of those questions was just like, how much do you trust the Lord? And I responded with, Lord, I trust you so much. I trust you with everything. I trust you with every action, every element, every aspect of my life. But I said, but I'm going to need your help, because what you're asking me to do, it feels really scary. And I was so comforted to find this journal, because I now have lived 2 years out of writing those words. And I can say with confidence, yes, Lord, I trust you. And I have so much evidence of how I can trust you. And so, just encouragement on the journey, my friends. It is wonderful to do life with you in this way on the podcast. Thank you so much for giving me your ears every week, live here. Reminder that on Monday, I am again hosting my Craft Your Six-Figure Business Blueprint with the beautiful Stephanie Donahue, where we're going to be walking you through what it looks like to build a six-figure business that can lessen the financial strain on your husband, that can help pay for Catholic school tuition, and that can aid you in giving to the causes that you so desire. And you can find the link to that wherever you are listening here. Hey, Sheila, I just read the first few, Sheila, thanks for watching. Thanks for this comment. Thank you for sharing your heart. And I just read the first few lines. I have to go back and read it, but I really hope you're okay. And I'm so happy that you're here with us. I do a lot of this content. I'll just be honest. I've not been shy to share this. Like, a lot of my content is stuff that I'm processing in the moment. A lot of my content is stuff that I am sharing in real time. And it is, I just want to thank you, those of you who watch and listen, because it is, I don't know, like it is life shared, I think, is just better than not. And if some of my mistakes and failings and some of my lessons and learned, learned experiences can help you and encourage you on your journey, I'm happy to do it. All right, my friends. Those of you joining me on my challenge on Monday, we'll see you on Monday live. You still have time to join us. And otherwise, we will see you next time on the Possibility Mom Live.